we're really trying to define this too, and like what makes a good technician.
You need character, you need vision, and you need proof. We don't have rules. It's like we have the standards that we keep. Welcome back to the Standard Podcast, formerly known as the Behind the Squeegee Podcast. We changed it because it matches our vibe a little bit more. And also, we do more than just window cleaning. Like, we have our carpet cleaning company. We used to be involved with the car detailing company. There's a lot of stuff going on. So, fits our vibe. In today's episode, we're going to be going over technicians and kind of like what we've learned as we've scaled our team of Mint technicians from, me and Ian on the truck, all the way to 10 plus technicians. There's been a lot of learnings along the way, and a lot of different pivots that we've made over the years. So that's what we're going over, and that's what we're going to get into it. Oh, by the way, Ian's with me today. Ian is our basically ops manager and my business partner at Mint, and he's the best guy for this podcast because he runs the entire service side of Mint.
Yeah,
so
buddy.
He knows more about technicians than I do.
A lot of stuff.
A
lot of fun stuff.
So yeah, dude, let's get into it. We'll start with the question. If you want to kind of go into the story of, maybe not the story, but like what the first couple of years looked like with our technicians, because I think it's people see what our stuff is now, and they think that that's how it always started, and that's how good our technicians have always been.
Yeah.
But it's very different.
Yeah.
So if we want to get into like when you were on the truck, and then maybe like the first year or two when we started hiring.
Yeah. So, we talked about our whole vision in the last one that we did. So if you want to hear that whole thing, go back and listen to that one. But kind of a brief overview. So when me and Gatlin teamed up, it was more of like he needed someone to handle all the technician stuff. It was kind of like, I guess, the discussion that we had.
Yeah, I was like, I want on the business side, and you do service.
Right.
All right.
So I was like, okay, like let's do that for sure. And then right off the bat, it was just me for probably like a month or two, I think, by myself, just keep me busy. And then we hired our first technician. Shout out Aaron Graff.
Hopefully he still watches our stuff.
Hopefully. and then we hired Brenton, and then some others along the way. So really at the beginning, it was actually really easy to manage technicians because I was one of them. And then like Aaron was solid. Obviously Brenton was solid. Super easy to manage. We only had, at most in the first year, we had 2 trucks, 4 technicians, and I was running the other one, and Brenton was running the other one. So really, there wasn't any management going on, really. It was just like, hey, get your jobs done. That was kind of it. So it was actually really nice. Going into year 2, a little bit of the same. We added on 2 trucks. A truck, a van.
The Tacoma van, and the Colorado.
Yeah, and Colorado's towards the end of the year. So really like 3 trucks for the most of the year. And again, like same type of thing. I was still running the truck. Brenton was running the other truck. And then I think Nick was running the other truck. So again, like hardly any management at all. I think it was into year 3, that's when it really started to get crazy for us. Because we had 4 trucks with the Colorado, and then we added 2 more, or no? Something like that. I don't know. I just remember year 3 is when it blew up. And this one we still did 2-man crews, so it was double the guys. And yeah, that's when it started to get crazy because we had like no systems in play. Yeah. We had, our pay structure wasn't even good at all. It was kind of just a free-for-all. Nothing in play.
So let's break that down because we had, first year, I think it was really easy, like you're saying, because you were in the truck. Mm-hmm. So it's very hard it'd be very hard for a technician to mess up because they were with you or they were like directly connected to you with another truck, which I think is kind of how it always goes when people start. Is like the first hire is usually like a friend or their brother or a cousin or something. And they just have to hold that person accountable. And usually that person does really well because they respect you as the business owner, just as a person. But as we start to get, like, the farther away that you get from being, like, hands-on with the technicians, the easier it is for them to kind of slack off and not do what's expected. And I think that's what we saw. Like, first and second year was easy because you were with them. Second year was they weren't with you, but they were, like, friends or siblings of friends or whatever, and so that we knew that they were good people and that they were going to work hard
still attached because I was still in the field.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then going into year 3, I think that's where we really struggled and we had to really change how we did things because we scaled from I think we scaled from like 6 technicians to like 16 technicians.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And now you were still kind of in the field, but then out of the fields. And we were running the 2-man crews, and there was no clear management structure. Everyone was just making like 20 an hour. And so we're like, service quality was going down.
It was going downhill fast.
Yeah, that was probably our worst year for service quality, which happens.
But then, I think we realized in year 3 that we could no longer just like bank off of the fact that we were friends with them and they were going to do a good job because they liked us.
Yeah.
It had to be like, okay, how do we actually manage and motivate employees?
Yeah.
And then we changed a lot of stuff. So going into year 3,
I think that, I mean, you're probably getting into this, but that was like the first wave of like, dang, this is when we need to change things.
yeah, we broke the business.
Yeah, like we had a good talk at the end of that year, and we're like, we need to fix something.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just like when you scale that quickly, you kind of just hire whoever. Like we were in the mentality of like, if you breathe,
We need bodies.
yeah, we need it because we're just like, we have so much work.
Yeah.
And so we're just hiring. And the problem when you do that is your quality of guy goes down. And when you hire worse people, the level of management increases. So it's way harder.
Oh.
And I think that was the biggest takeaway from that year is we sat, like Ian said, we sat down in a meeting and we're all like, okay, Ian's life sucks. He's managing 16 guys. Everyone's calling in sick. No one shows up for work in the morning. Service quality is horrible.
Yeah.
All this stuff. And we're like, what do we fix it? Or how do we fix it? And I remember Caleb was like, what if we just paid people, well, he said 2 things. He's like, what if we did 1-man crews instead of 2-man crews? And what if we paid them commission and we made it to where if someone was good, they could make twice as much money. And so we could the theory was if we paid twice as much, would we get twice as good of people? Or would our guys perform twice as well or do twice as much revenue? And that's not exactly what we saw. But I mean, I can let you kind of get into that. Basically what we saw though was like, when you change comp structure and we switch to commission, it doesn't change the people that are in your business. It changes the type of people that are attracted to working in your business. And so basically we like fired everyone and then had to hire all new people. But you can get into it.
But like even when we hired all those new guys, like it was like, wow, this is awesome. Like we're actually like getting like really good like dudes that are married, dudes with kids that like want to work and like they have to work. We've got some solid candidates at the time.
Yeah. So break down. Can you break down like what was our comp structure at the time? Because I think it was a move in the right direction, but it wasn't what it is today.
Yeah.
And then also like you're saying is like what changed for you? Because you were the one that was in charge of managing.
Yeah.
So it's like what changes did you see?
As far as comp structure, we started all of our guys out at like for years 1 through 3, like I don't know, $15 to $18 an hour.
Oh yeah.
And we started them at. And then they got up to like 20s, something in the 20s.
Yeah.
And then when we first did the commission structure, I think we started out 23%.
I think it was like
24, something like that. It was when they were first starting.
It's too high.
It was too high. We found that out quick, but we attracted a really good, I guess, group of guys. And also what we built too was a training program. That was game changer.
Yeah.
Like as far as like managing, because years 1 through 3, it was like go with Ian. He'll train you up. Once you're trained, okay, go off with Brenton or something, new technician. Like I was always I was the person training.
Yeah.
Like it's just not scalable. So we built a training program that once I trained somebody, that person can now train because it was so easy. Like if you've been through it, you can do it yourself.
Yeah.
So that was a game changer. Because I think it was Brecken. I mean, if you want to go through like the posterity line, it was like me training Brecken, and then Brecken trains this guy, that guy trains this guy, and like goes down the line. But anyways, but that was a huge game for like managing.
Yeah. I think with that one too is like, it was interesting because like you said, you had to train every single person, and we were at the point in this where every spring we had so much work that we couldn't just go from like 2 technicians to 12 technicians because you were the person that was having to train them.
Yeah,
and so for you to train that many people, it was literally not possible.
Yeah.
And so we got, like Ian mentioned, we had our training program so dialed to where we had 5 technicians that we kept through the winter, and they were so trained on the training program that spring would come around and we can now double our workforce in like a month rather than having Ian train a new technician every single month. And so it would take 5 months to scale before to like the team that we needed. Whereas now with the new training manual and the new system, it was just, we have our 5 guys, they trained the new 5 guys, and now we doubled in a month.
Now we have 10. Yeah.
Which was crazy.
Yeah.
And they were actually good.
Yeah.
Because they actually knew.
Yeah.
There was just little things like that we would miss in the training. Even you would miss it. Like as good as you were at training, it'd be like you wouldn't run into a house that had construction clean, like paint or stucco or silicone on the windows, and so you wouldn't teach them how to use a razor blade. And then they would get out of your training, and then they would get to a house where they have to do construction cleaning.
Like, how do I do this?
Because
we never had it.
Yeah. Or there'd be a house that had like pain damage, and they never
Yeah.
learned how to explain it to a client because you just never saw it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a game changer.
Yeah, training program.
So
was
training
nice.
program, and then comp structure was great. Let's get into. You want to get into one man crews? How
Yeah,
that changed things?
so I mean, I think that's why we started the comp structure so high, because we didn't really know kind of what these guys were able to produce.
Yeah, zero clue.
I think we went into it. We only scheduled them $800 a day. When they
Well, no. The first day that we did it with Jackson.
Well, with Jackson, yeah.
We were like, we have no idea. So we're like, what are you going to do? Or like, what can you do? And so we were like, Jackson, we're going to schedule you 1,600, and we're going to put you out by yourself. We're like, you don't need to finish it, but just know like that's what was on your schedule. Keep in mind, before when we were running 2-man crews, it was $1,200 a day per crew.
Yeah.
So after that, we're like, Jackson, you're going to do more than what 2 guys normally do. And he literally finished it in like 7 hours.
It was like the perfect route. too.
Yeah. I mean, it was a good route.
All of his jobs were.
But we were just trying to see
yeah,
if it was possible. And
yeah.
we were like, dang. One person, I mean, this wasn't every day, but it's like he proved in one day that a good technician that knew what he was doing without being slowed down from a crappy technician could do 1,600 a day.
Yeah.
We're like, all right, cool. 1-man crews work.
Yeah, one-man cruise was definitely the move. We just had to be careful. Again, this goes back into training with like ladder safety, roof safety, lifting basement wells.
Yeah.
We were like careful with that.
It's actually one thing that I hear a lot of people, they're like, oh, I can't run 1-man crews because of safety or whatever. Like, well, the houses are going to take too long. And I'm just like, if you're worried about running 1-man crews, the problem isn't that it's a 1-man. I guess these are the 2 things with 1-man crews. It's always a safety thing. Like, I don't trust my guys with a ladder just by themselves. Or the other thing is morale.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, well, they don't want to be by themselves all day.
Yeah.
And it's like the 2 things that I always have to say to that is, first off, people will always be more happy if they make more money rather than being with someone else. So it's like, yeah, the morale thing doesn't matter if they make more money. The other thing is, if you don't trust that they can be by themselves with ladders, the problem is you haven't trained them properly. It's not that it's a 1-man crew versus a 2-man crew.
Yeah.
And so it's like, they're both solved with 1-man crews. It's just train your guys better and help them make more money, and then they'll be fine.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's something we had. That was, I think, a big holdup why we didn't do it too. Why we pushed back on Caleb, or I pushed back on Caleb, is because of that too. The same situation.
We almost didn't do it.
We almost didn't do it, and then it was like, let's dial in our training, and then we'll be okay.
Yeah.
We did, and it was okay.
Yep.
So I mean, we still had to go through like 4 technicians to find a good technician. Even
Yeah,
when we
we were-
switched to 1-man crews
Yeah,
and
we
like the
set
comp
pretty high
structure and
training.
everything. But I do remember like we did start them at $800 a day
Yeah.
out of training.
Yeah.
Out of training, we booked them $800 a day. Their commission was higher. Geez, how long did we even have that commission for? Until last year?
Well,
Right?
yeah, the original problem with it was we were paying them like 22 to 24%, and we were scheduling them 800, but we were expecting them to upsell like 400 a day.
Yeah.
And so what we found out was like we needed more technicians. Well, this was what was happening. No one was upselling.
Yeah.
So we would schedule everyone 800, and they'd be done by like 12 o'clock. And then we were just hiring tons of technicians when we didn't need to, because we're like, oh, they're all going to upsell, but then they didn't.
Yeah.
And so, like, okay, cool. What if instead of doing that, because no one upsells, we need to downsize our comp structure where we pay them a little bit less, because the reason why we were willing to pay so high was because we were expecting them to upsell more, and so they'd make more money off the upsells, but they weren't.
Yeah.
So, all right, cool. We'll schedule you guys more revenue, but we're going to pay you guys less.
Yeah.
So that's when we lowered it from like 23, 24% to 20% base.
Mm-hmm.
And then
First
we started scheduling our guys more. So instead of scheduling them 800, we scheduled them anywhere from like 1,000 to 1,500.
Yeah.
And overall, like, yeah, their commission was less, but because they were performing more revenue, they made more money than on the original plan or
Right.
the original structure. So
Yeah.
that's kind of like how our team changed. I think
That was like the first big change.
I think we took our team from pretty crappy. they weren't very good, except we had a few guys that stayed with us, but originally they were pretty bad, to where they came in and people were willing to perform, and they performed really well. Like, they were really fast. They performed a good
Yeah.
quality service for the most part.
Yep.
and they're willing to get reviews too because we motivate them with money. So I think the first transition was like motivate the guys properly, and that attracted a different type of person. But after that, going into like these next couple years of like the past year or two, we started realizing that people have been kind of like, they've been performing really well, but they've been slipping on like on the basics because we financially motivated them to just like be really fast and get a lot of reviews rather than like clock in, clock out,
show up on time,
stuff like that. So if you want to get into, we've been having a lot of conversation about that, but like what's kind of the transition that we're seeing now from just being focused on like motivating people with money to now being like, you need to do the standards.
Yeah, for sure. I go back to when we did the whiteboard last week on our monthly meeting or something. So there's like qualities that show someone's character, and then there's qualities that like, then there's like skills, which is like performance. Mm-hmm. So that's what, and we're really trying to define this too, and like what makes a good technician. And I even asked the guys this in Vegas. I asked Taz, I was like, Taz, who's the best technician? And he's like, oh, this guy, because he upsells this much. I was like, okay, Taz, what if I told you he gets 3 callbacks a week? Oh, no, definitely not. Okay, this technician, because they would do this. But I'm like, okay, but that technician doesn't do a lot of upsells. Oh, yeah. So, like, we don't really know, like, our guy, we know because we have the conversations about it now, but we've never defined what is a good technician. So, like, going into, like, next year and these next few years, like, we're really going to know who, like, the best technicians are and what makes a good technician. So, like, the character things are, like, it's the basics or the standards. Showing up on time, wearing a uniform, client communication, no callbacks. That's like the meat of it. That covers everything else. But what it comes down to is, like, really, like, ownership, like taking ownership of your route that day, taking ownership of the clients, taking ownership of your truck, like keeping a clean truck. That's something that we've really lost sight of because we've been so focused on performance and like training them on skills. But like you can't teach character integrity. You can teach these skills and performance things. So that's what we're really trying to come together with those. So
yeah, it's like I mean, it was our own fault. Like because of the way that we structured the pay, we motivated people to just perform. Mm-hmm. It's like now, kind of like you were saying, I think for me, I've defined it in like 3 different ways. I was actually talking to Malvin about this because literally same conversation. I was like, who's the best technician? And they all have their opinion on who's the best technician. But every time that someone thinks it's the best or someone is the best technician, it's based off performance. Yeah. It's always like, who can upsell the most, who's the fastest, and who gets the most reviews. That's it. That's what people think is the best.
Because that's what we've pushed.
Right, exactly. So for me, I think what makes a successful technician or what makes the technician the best is 3 things. The first thing, which is what we started with, which is like performance. Like, are they fast? Are they getting upsells? And are they getting reviews? The next thing is like, do they do the standards? One thing, shout out to Max. Max actually posted this the other day, but he put on his story, it said standards, not rules. And I really like that. It's like we don't have rules. It's like we have the standards that we keep. And like you said, that is providing good quality service, wearing your uniform, clocking in, clocking out, like doing the basics. And then after that, it's like even if they do those things, they can still not be a great technician. And so the third one that we're just starting to figure out is culture fit. Mm-hmm. And like culture fit is like who they are as a person. Because for example, someone could perform really well. They could show up to work every day. They could wear their uniform, all this stuff. But if they have a bad attitude and no one wants to be around them, they're like they shouldn't be on the team. I don't care if they can perform $3,000 a day in revenue. If everyone doesn't like to be around them, that's not a good technician. And so like what a successful technician is the combination of the 3. Mm-hmm. It's like performance, standards, culture. Now, like getting like how do you measure those all together is really hard. And I think that's something that we're working on right now. It's like, okay, cool. But what if someone does there's 2 people and they do all 3 of them, but then this person's better at standards and this person's better at upsells, who's better? And so I think that's what we have to figure out as a team is like which ones weigh more. And like we really need to define like this is what success looks like. And then the technician should know. If we ask someone who's the best technician, everyone should say like it's this person. Yeah. Because they know what good is. Right. Whereas right now it's kind of
all over the place.
So
Well, and I think what's cool too is when we first started doing this, we're like, hey, what's the motive? What's the why behind this? Like, why are we doing this? And we're like, because this, like, doing these basic standards is going to help them make more money.
yeah, we thought it was all financial.
We thought it was all financial, but really it's more like these guys just like, obviously they want to be comfortable here. They want to, but they also like, they just want to be a better person too.
Yeah.
So like, we thought it was like so financial, but it's really, they just, at the end of the day, if they leave here, they want to look back and be like, I was this person when I came in, now I'm this person, or now I've acquired these skills. And yeah, of course I got paid during it, but like that is truly what I take with me is these skills that I've acquired. I'm a better person. I have a better character or whatever.
Yep.
So that's what we're learning now is like, hey, cool, financial is important, obviously, of course, but how are we going to help these dudes like get better and be better as a person, which is cool.
Yeah,
we've never had that before. It's always been financial, always.
Yeah, and I think the thing with financial that's really hard is we always were like, okay, cool. Our vision is financial for the business, and so we have to financially motivate them to also want to perform the thing. And I think the vision is very easy to be bought into when it's like Nico said this morning in the meeting is vision is very easy to sell managers on.
Yeah.
But individual employees, like they don't care about the vision. They just don't care. And so when we have this big vision of like, we want to change the home service industry, like you're bought in, I'm bought in, Brenton's bought in, Nico, Caleb, like we're all bought in. But like, if we were to tell Brecken, it's like, dude, we want to change the home service industry. He's like, cool. And like Brecken is one of our best technicians,
good.
right?
Well, it sounds good. You guys do your thing.
Yeah, exactly. But, and so we're like, okay, cool. If you guys help us with our vision, you're going to make more money. Like we're all going to make more money and that's going to be passed down to you. And like, no one cared.
Yeah.
And we're like, huh, interesting. And then we're having a meeting with all the guys and it really came down to like exactly what you just said. It's like, they just want to feel like we're investing in them.
Yeah.
They don't care that we're invested in the vision. They want to feel invested. So it's like, if you want people to be invested in your vision, you have to invest in them. And that's like, and not financially. Financially is important, like we talked about, but like you need to be invested in them as a person. And then if they see that you're invested in them, they'll be invested in something that you care about too. But it's not like, here's the vision, you guys should care about the vision. It's like, I care about you, and because they see that we care about them, they care about the thing that we care about.
Yeah. Well, it goes back to when we just talked about like year one, how it's like your friend or a cousin, and they're really good because they're bought into you.
Yeah.
They respect you, and then that's what we need to get back to.
Well, we actually talked. This is actually good because I forgot we talked about this. Is like, remember when we were talking about recruiting, like the three things that you need to recruit.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is actually like a good trend. I wasn't planning on talking about this, but this is good. This is like a huge learning for us. Is you need three things if you want people to come onto your team. It's you need character, you need vision, and you need proof. Those are the three things, and like they're not just like binary things. Like, oh, you just need that thing and then you're good. It's like you can have a lot of each one. So for example, when you first start, you have proof. Like I'm sure everyone has seen this when they started their window cleaning company, or if you started in home service. So you usually hire a friend or like your brother or whatever, and that person works hard for you because they believe in your character.
Yeah.
Same thing with you. Like when me and you partnered up, like I was like, I want to do all this stuff, but like the reason why you even believed me was because we knew each other.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, Gatlin, like we're friends. I believe you. Let's do this thing.
Yeah.
And so like you teamed up with me because of my character, and I also teamed up with you because of your character. But if character only goes so far, because like if I'm a good person, but the employees don't see growth for them within the business, then like they can't stick around. So for example, if I was like, hey Ian, you're gonna be an employee you're just gonna be a technician for forever, but like work for me because I have kids who like me, like it burns out eventually. And so the next thing that you need is vision. And so what they need to see is what is the growth for them in the business. And so they're bought into you as a person, but now they're bought into the vision of like, hey, I can grow with this company. There's an opportunity here. But also vision only goes so far. Because if you just have this super big vision, but you never like fulfill on your promises. So for example, if me and you partnered up, you like me, I like you, we're in it with character, and it's like I sell you on this vision, like this is what we're going to turn Mint into. If we didn't grow for 5 years and you were still in the field making 18 an hour, you probably would leave. Not probably, you definitely would leave. Yeah. And so it's like there needs to be a level of proof of like you achieve the things that you're saying you're going to achieve along like the path of achieving the vision.
Yeah.
And so like those are the three things that we've realized is like I would hope that people think that we have really good character. I think that's why a lot of guys stay with us because they really like that. They like that we're good dudes. The next thing is I think we've always really nailed the vision. Like we've been, at least for me, it's probably really annoying, but I'm very much a visionary. I'm always thinking like 5-10 years out, and so we're always like vision. But I think we're getting to the point now where it's like, how do we just stack as much proof as possible? And like when you have proof in all the stuff that we're doing, is like I think we have enough. Like Mint does $2 million a year. Like we have nice trucks, we have good employees. Like we have the YouTube channel. Like there's proof there, but it's like how do we stack more? Yeah. Because it needs to get to the point where it's like, yeah, we can say something like this is the vision, and we've proven so much of what we've achieved that no one ever doubts that anything that we say we want to do is going to happen. So I guess with that being said, is like now we're developing character not within us but also within the people that we have on the team. I think like also I don't think we lack in vision at all. I think that's something that we do really well at. But like I guess for you, what are some things within the business within the next year that we can do to like stack proof?
Yeah, I mean, a big thing for me, and this is why it's come to this point, has been like we've been very like relaxed. I think so. Like we've been very like good friends with our technicians, which is good, but we haven't found that balance of like, hey, you need to do this, or like, oh, I'll just let it slide because we're homies.
Right.
Like there needs to be that line, and these new standards is that line.
Yeah.
Like it's like, hey, like we're friends, like 100%, like you guys are our dogs, 100%. But like when you slack off, like we gotta have a serious conversation. So I think for me with like this next year, I think that's gonna be a big, I guess like not growing pain, but like a big growth for me. Is like being able to have those hard conversations. And like they don't have to be hard conversations if they're like, I guess, directed the right way or whatever. But like, I mean, we talk about this. It's like, it's me and the technician versus the system now. Yeah. Instead of, because in the past, I mean, Brenton talked about this too. It's always been like the technician versus Ian's rules.
Yeah.
And like whatever I thought was appropriate was like, and then the technicians against me and like trying to balance that, and it was just a mess. So now that we have like these standards, and it's a lot more than what we've listed. Like there's a ton of stuff.
It's a long list.
It's gonna be like me and the technician versus that. Yeah. So then there's no excuses. Yeah. So I think being able to like have those conversations and keeping the guys accountable to that is gonna be a big, I guess, growing opportunity for me. Yeah. So,
and I like where this all stemmed from is like we have a lot of guys come out to the warehouse and like check out our stuff, and there were some times, and don't get me wrong, like I feel like we decently know what we're talking about when it comes to managing technicians. But even with what we have currently, like things slip through the cracks.
For sure.
And like technicians aren't perfect. Our technicians, I know we hype our technicians up. They're awesome. They're not perfect in any way. And so guys were coming out and like a technician would not clean the frames on a house. And then because people look up to us as the standard, they're like, oh, well, Mint doesn't clean the frames. I don't have to clean the frames. And I was like, whoa, that's not okay.
That's crazy.
Or they look at our guys' trucks and like sometimes they're not cleaned. And it's like, oh, well, it's okay if my guys don't clean my trucks. And we're like, no, that's not okay. Yeah. And so I think like all of these things that you're implementing and like we're setting the standard, we have it established, and it's like you and the guy, well, first off, when we hire them, it's like, cool, these are the standards. Do you agree to them? And like, yes. Yeah. And so now it's like you versus that, or you and them versus the system.
Yes.
I think if we're really able to nail that, I think we can get our technicians and our team to a point where like they're getting pretty dang close to perfection. And then when guys do come out, we can like just trust all our guys 100% all the time to be like, hey, you're going to go with this technician.
And they're dialed.
And they're not going to do a single thing that's like against what we say.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. No, that's a good point. And definitely like it needs to start from like the first screen call. So like we even need to change that system a little bit too.
It's like this is how we are.
Because that's where it starts.
Yeah.
It's going to start right there. Because if we hire them and then we bring it up, it's like...
Then it was your rules.
Yeah, then it's my rules, exactly. It needs to start right from that first phone call when we're hiring. So anyways, exciting stuff. I'm really excited for it. But it's cool to see like where, and hopefully we mapped it out good enough, but like kind of like the growing pains with technicians. So like we're saying like hopefully this third time we've changed it is going to be like third time's a charm. Yeah. So hopefully like we're going to try to nail it as best we can this time. There's going to be some things we need to fix. But for the most part, like we're gonna nail it this third
Yeah.
time, and really, so
Yep.
I don't know.
Cool. I think that's a wrap.
Anything else? We chilling?
What do you think, Brenton?
Long
Is that
enough?
Gasoline.
good? So yeah, stay tuned. Let us know if you guys like the podcast content. Me and Ian just rip a combo for how long were we talking?
Yeah. How long did that take?
Like 35.
Yeah.
Nice. You can cut some stuff too.
If you guys like this stuff, it's we can have some more like specific topics on this. I think it's really cool, just like a different dialogue, different setting. But yeah, guys, that's a wrap for the pod. We'll see you guys on the next one that we drop in 6 months. Now we are going to be working on getting this more consistent, but as of right now, we don't know when the next episode is going to be. But the Standard Podcast is the new name.
Oh,
so
yeah.
welcome to the Standard Podcast. It's good to have you guys. Keep following along.
All right.
After you listen, you can beat the standard.
Set the standard, beat the standard, and all that.